Good morning, everybody. It is Monday morning at 11:06, and it is 11:06 because at 10:59 I was here on my Zoom trying to go live in my Facebook account, but apparently, even though I'm the owner of both my own Zoom and this Facebook group, I don't have permission to go live from my own Zoom onto my own Facebook group. I don't know I don't know what permission I need to ask for or whose permission I need to get, and I think I finally just caught up, so if you missed it, I couldn't go live because I was in my Zoom trying to go live to avoid all of the messages I get that the video is too slow, and I've noticed that recently my video doesn't connect with my voice as much, and I don't know why. I actually frankly don't care why. So I said, all right, I'm going to avoid the whole thing. I'm going to go through Zoom and going to post live, but I don't have permission. I don't have permission in my own Zoom and my own Facebook group to go live. And I was like, wow, this is some amazing shit. So if this is a mirror of how I run my life, my question to myself is where am I trying or looking for permission? So this is like a fabulous experience for me just now. I just was like, what the fuck? I don't even have permission. It's so beautiful. So I'm just chuckling to myself because I spent 7 minutes trying to figure out how to get permission. So that's just beautiful. Good morning. Good morning. It is 11. It is beautiful. It is April. What is today? 11th. I am um just sort of in that weary, delighted place of having taught all weekend long to these just breathtakingly amazing souls, and it was such a beautiful experience all weekend long. Just incredible. We I teach at the at Reese Thomas Institute, and this is the third year, and they're graduating, so they only have one more weekend left with us, unless they come back for grad, which a lot of them do. But it's the last time they'll be together as this group in this place. And so this was heart chakra and fifth chakra. So it's your heart and your voice, right? So it was fourth and fifth chakra weekend this weekend. And we did so much work in the big school. Reese does his big, we did some chanting, we did some like kirtan stuff, and it was just incredible. We did some deep meditations. And in our small group, in our third year group, we got to do some like really deep work, like some really like powerful heart work, some like clearing out the last, or not the last, but the next level of stuff that keeps you out of relationship. And that was what was like one of the things I sort of asked them, just like last week when I was talking about asking for your needs and being vulnerable enough to ask, even if the person you ask can't meet them. It's in the asking that you can finally start to understand first the longing, and that allow what allows it to be met. And so I charged my students this weekend with doing that same thing, and allowing themselves to be vulnerable in the asking, to feel the longing. Like at one point we were doing some chanting, and the chanting was this like, you know um it was Jai Utal. Jai Utal has his voice is brilliant, and it's just this like incredible devotion to his god, to Shiva. And it's just this incredible kirtan chant, and he sings and you sing back, and we do, it's like a 25-minute chant, and we did it all weekend long, and it was, you can feel and hear in his voice the affection and the love and the almost longing for his beloved. And if you're joining us, say good morning, say hi, welcome, join us. I always can't see who you are, but say hello. If you're watching a replay, let me know that too. So yeah, so it was we were doing this chanting, and in the middle of it, you can feel your brain sort of shuts off after a while. After you do this chanting for so long, your brain shuts off, and then you can really get into that heart space. You can allow your heart's truth to come up, and we got to feel and experience that longing of the soul wanting to be in the soul plane with the divine. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Because on the other side of that, on the other side of the longing is the having or the experiencing. And if you're saying, "No, I'm good. I don't need that," then you don't give source, they, divine, whatever, I don't care, the universe, you don't give them a chance to come in, right? I'm good. I don't need that. Or if you have blocks, or you have vows, or you shut it down. If your heart is shut down because it was too painful to be open. And for most of us, that's true. Our heart was shut down because the pain of being open was too excruciating. But on the other side of the pain, on the other side of the longing is the receiving, is the allowing, is the the joy of the oneness. And we can't get there without going through the pain of longing. But for most of us, that pain is too excruciating. And so with this whole weekend, we as teachers were asking the students to open their hearts and feel the pain of longing and feel the pain of disconnection expressly, so that they could open their hearts to the joy of oneness with the soul. Because the heart is the soul point. The heart is the entryway for the soul, right? And the heart speaks through the voice. So the heart connects with the soul and opens us up to be able to speak our heart's truth. And our words have resonance. Our words have spells. Our words are powerful. Right? So it's like because it's coming from the soul. What we speak, we create. So we talked a lot with the students this weekend about what are you creating with your words? What is the story that you're telling? And is it serving you to continue to tell that story? What if you could just tell a different story? What if you could just choose to tell a different story? And this isn't to say that the trauma didn't happen. It isn't to minimize. It isn't to say you did anything wrong, or it's not minimizing anything that anybody has ever gone through. But that if you're constantly telling the story of how wounded you are, how broken you are, how miserable you are, how nothing ever works out for you, or whatever the stories that we tell ourselves. It's their fault. It's not my problem. They did this to me, you know. We shut ourselves off from what we really most long for in the world is connection. So it's like can we, like the message of the title of my message today is, do we have the courage to heal? Right? We did some incredible deep work, meditations, and we did this one meditation where they get to go back in time and create their love and relationship that they wanted with their parents. And there was, one woman came out of the meditation. She was like, I couldn't do it, not even in meditation. She was like, does this pain ever end? Like, well, how do I get there? And she really had this like emotional breakdown. And it was so beautiful to hold space for that. And then so on the other side of that, I said, this is why we practice it. This is why we keep doing it. We keep sort of pushing. We just keep sort of getting into that, feeling that pain, right? Because if you vow never to feel it again, that's the thing that's going to run your life. But like when you can just breathe into it. You can just peel back layers, peel back layers, peel back layers. That eventually you get to the crux of it. Eventually you realize that it was exactly what you needed, so that you could choose love so consciously that it can never leave you. And we came out of that meditation, and these men and women were having these beautiful breakthroughs. And one woman decided she was going to call her dad, who she has a really strained relationship with, and called her dad to say, "I love you." And she meant it. She felt it sincerely. Like, can you, for a minute, think about a person that you have a conflict with? Think about someone who you really struggle to be in relationship with. Think about, I don't care who it is, if someone has hurt you in the past, if it's a parent or an ex partner or whatever, child, is there someone in your world who you have a really intense and strained relationship with? Could you imagine getting to the place with them where you could say, "I love you," and mean it sincerely? Can you imagine what weight that would take off of your heart and your soul? Can you imagine what you could do, what you could create from that place if you no longer had to tell the story of how wounded and broken you were? I don't care if you've overcome it and you can say, "I'm stronger now because of it." Great. That's the point of work and that's the point of growing in consciousness. But if you can get to the place where it no longer holds any weight within you, what would be possible from there? And I watched this woman do that this weekend. It was like I will be inspired by that courage and commitment to healing for the rest of my life. And it was so breathtakingly beautiful. I got to watch these people who are like now 6 weeks away from graduating from a 3-year program. These people have been diving in and showing up and doing the work for 3 years in this program, right? They started pre-pandemic. And they're coming now into the world as healers. We get to watch them do these presentations over the weekend where they talk about the practicum healing that they did they did 6 or 8 or 10 sessions with this client that they got to see over and over again, and the client doesn't pay for them. It's all part of the curriculum. But they got to present these things, right? So there's a group of 26 men and women who came in, they're like, "I'm not going to be a healer. I don't need to do this." And like that, to a man, they came saying, "Wow, I had no idea how magical this feels, or how powerful it was, or what change I could really affect in the world." So I'm watching all of these people claim they're healer. And I said to them, and I'm going to say again to them, they're the heal. I don't care if they never have somebody on their table as a healer. Just their presence is healing, because they take their resonance, their light, they're learning to tell a different story. They have the courage to heal when a lot of people out there don't. So they are taking that light, that shining example, that bravery, that power, that passion, that joy for life, and they're taking it out in the world. And they're giving other people permission to do that, whether they do it, whether they know it or not. It's because they're no longer having to tell the story of the victim. They're no longer telling the story of how they were wounded. They're no longer having to cast a spell with their voices of all that they had to overcome. We all have shit. We all have trauma. We all do. It's a fact of life in the human existence. It's just kind of true. This is, as one of my teachers has once said, this is the school of hard knocks. Earth isn't necessarily like a fluffy light planet. And you can only think about any one of the things that's going on in the world right now to think about that. And think about any one of the things that's going on in your own personal world right now. I say all the time, life is going to hand you lemons. This is kind of a truth. I, I just am so in awe and stunned and inspired by the bravery of these 26 men and women who are choosing to tell a different story anyway, right? Inspiration for the whole entire rest of my life. So what I would love for you guys all to do today is, what kind of story do you want to tell? What how do you want to show up? Who do you want to be in the world? And how do you if you don't know, if you don't know how to get there, this is where you work with me. I'm telling I taught I've been working with this RTI group. I mean, I've been in the RTI group for 8 years, but I've been teaching this particular group since October or November. The level of change that they've had in this for 3 year program and in this 8 months since we started is breathtaking. So what what today is your one courageous act, your one place of entry, your one point that's courageous to heal? What's the one thing you want to do today to allow more love and cherish being loved and cherished and adored, which is what we all want. What we all want more than anything else in the world is to be loved and cherished and adored. And for most of us, we didn't get it as children, or we didn't our parents didn't know how to give it to us because they had already lost touch with their own soul. And so we feel shame and guilt and sadness just because we wanted it when that was apparently not the right thing. That's what we all want. It's what we all want, is to be loved and cherished and adored. Connection. We all want that connection, intimacy, connection, right? Into me I see, intimacy. So what's the one thing you want to do today to start telling a different story so that you can start peeling back the layers of that's covering over the pain of not getting it? Because I promise you, on the other side of it is the connection that we long for. I love you. I cherish you. I adore you. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing Monday, and I will see you next week. Oh, P.S. If you don't know, I have an in-person class on Saturday, inner child class, inner child play shop. So come, please play with me in Seekonk, Massachusetts. It's at the Quantum Collective, and if you do, I created it. I created an event and I posted it, but I'll post it again. So come play with us on Saturday night. We're gonna actually play. Yeah, we'll do some of this work. It's gonna be deep. It's gonna be deep, but we'll play too. So bring your children, bring your inner children to come to play with me at Quantum on Saturday. And I will see you next week.